crime.
It's a pleasure to have you here in Minneapolis, in our city. I am Palestinian American. I'm sure you're aware of Press, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So we're one of the leading independent media outlets in this country.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's quite devastating to see these kind of military-style tactics being brought to our city here.
Yeah.
And as a Palestinian who lived under Israeli occupation, all of these things that I've seen feel all too familiar.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
I do agree, yes.
All right. I think one of the main things I've heard from people is this would have never happened if, Hillary Clinton or Kamala Harris were president right now. Top cop Kamala. So what do you have to say about Democrats, considering that the Biden administration built the cages for children?
Honestly, a lot of Democrats like to say, oh, this kind of violence, police brutality would never happen if a Democrat was elected. And that's obviously not the case, considering that police violence never really stopped under the Democratic Party. I mean, people don't remember, but Black Lives Matter initially started at Ferguson, and that was under Barack Obama. And at the time, a lot of Democrats were not very fond of Black Lives Matter as a protest movement, street movement. And I want to believe that sentiment, that Democrats are going to be different, but unfortunately, they're not showing that right now. It's always too little, too late. It's always, oh, maybe ICE is fine, but we don't want to fund ICE in this current version of ICE, never abolish ICE. And some Democrats do say that, but there's obviously not enough momentum in the National Party. They're not listening to the demands of the population, just like they spent 2 years refusing to reckon with the crimes of genocide in Gaza. And even to this day, still have the audacity to bring that up as a gotcha when they say, oh, well, you should have voted for us, even in spite of the genocide. And as Ta-Nehisi Coates famously said, a party that doesn't care about genocide doesn't care about defending democracy either. And we're kind of seeing that right now because the theoretical democratic process in America is currently being undermined in broad daylight. I mean,
that's okay. Thank you for being here.
The current democratic process that we've had a lot of issues with it already, right, historically. Like you say, we never had a true proletarian democracy, and I agree with that. But right now, we are very clearly moving in the direction of fascism. We're in the waters of fascism. And yet, Democrats are not presenting a strong opposition that they really have to. If they want to preserve what remains of the theoretical democracy in America, they have to put a better fight. They have to put a stronger opposition up against the Republicans, and they're not doing it. So I want to believe that Democrats will be different, but they won't let me believe that Democrats are different because I can't help but notice their inaction, and it's very frustrating.
Well, I think a lot of people saw that picture of that toddler, Liam, who was in preschool, and they thought, should never happen to Kamala, but I always bring up the fact that the Biden administration and the Obama administration built the cages for immigrant children.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that Donald Trump loved bringing up all the time. I was very much against Barack Obama's deportation policies. I mean, Tom Homan was the person that was conducting it even back then. Barack Obama gave him a medal. And now we know Tom Homan is a villain, but I mean, even back then he was a villain. He was doing the same exact stuff. Maybe not the same exact stuff, to be fair. It's always building on top of one another.
Yeah.
The problem with the Democratic Party is that they play a role in ratcheting. They play a role in basically ratcheting and normalizing the violence of the preceding Republican administration. The Republicans come in, they fuck everything up, they move further and further in the direction of fascism, and then oftentimes Democrats don't pull it back, don't scale it back. They end up normalizing it. And that's what's really frustrating, and I hope that there are more people out there, there are more fighters out there in the Democratic Party who will put up a stronger opposition against the Republicans, because otherwise we have no one. And that's just chaos.
Thank you. Can I get a picture with you?
Of course.